everybody. Welcome back to Two Brokies. You are here today with me, Jenna CORTIS.
Me, Kevin Sullivan, and our special guest, Maddie Zahm.
Maddie Zahm! Yay!
I'm so excited you're here.
I'm so excited to be here.
Because I manifested you, which is crazy.
Oh!
We have a mutual friend, Vincent.
They are. You go.
We were driving like a while ago. Vincent was like, oh, I want to play a song. And it was Sheets.
Oh.
We blasted it the whole day. And I was like, send me that song like ASAP. It became my ADHD like song for 2 weeks solid. It was like all I was listening to. A few weeks later, manager hit me up and was like,
Hey.
I was like, we talked about it. I'm a master manifester. And I was like,
I'm so excited to be here. And also, thanks for listening to my song.
Oh my gosh.
The Pisces.
Not well.
We're going to get to your strategy in a bit. How long have you been in music?
Oof. Kind of my whole life. I was a worship leader in the church for since I came out of the womb. I came out of the womb singing Oceans.
Oh wow.
Strumming an open D chord. So
my gosh.
Yeah.
How did you start singing for the church?
Yeah. Did they just put you up there?
They kind of did.
Yeah.
They popped me up. I think that they were like,
you were probably darling.
Maybe. Yeah. I think probably they were like, oh, a plus size lady with like a deep voice. Let's get her up there, And I was like, fine. And I think I got
Take
better.
Me to the
I said,
stage.
yeah.
The altar.
I said, yeah, I will. But God, I was like known as in that church as I was up and coming worship leader.
Wow.
Crazy. Now looking back, I can't explain the pipeline of being a church singer and coming out of the closet. There's a pipeline.
There's a pipeline.
Yeah.
So any favorite church songs?
So the thing that I think really caused me having OCD is that my favorite church song was when the toast is churning, all the toast is burning, Captain Crunch is waving farewell. When the big one finds you, may the song remind you that they don't serve breakfast in hell.
Oh jeez, we didn't have that.
And let me tell you, I'm AirPods in. Yeah. Right? And I think it's why I stayed in the closet so long.
Because they're too busy serving everything else.
Literally, take away Captain Crunch. Well, here's my thing, is being queer is such a large identity, but being a breakfast lover is bigger. Do you know what I mean? Take away queer kissing for a breakfast burrito.
You may take our gay marriage, but you may never take our
A
breakfast.
breakfast burrito. Exactly. Yeah, I stand by it.
That was a song in a church.
Oh, yeah, it was on the radio. Yeah, it was next to it. Usually
I didn't
came
listen
after
to church radio.
On the radio.
I don't really care if they know that I'm a Jesus freak. Do you remember that one?
No, we didn't have that in.
I don't. My
Detroit.
family was not once we left the parking lot, no more church.
I get that.
I got confirmed because my dad was like, sometimes we do things just so mom won't cry.
My mom and I had a battle over confirmation.
Did you
Because
won?
I had to leave a diving meet to go get confirmed, but I qualified, and I was like, I'm staying. I wasn't staying. I had to go back, and I got to get confirmed, and I missed.
Wow.
I missed a national meet.
Wow, I'm sorry for that. I was on the swim team mostly because I was captain for at least a couple months because the captain left, and they all thought it would be funny to vote me as the captain because I was the slowest person on the team.
Funny?
And I was really, not in a bully way. It was objectively
I was like,
hilarious.
I'll
I was in on the bit
bit
because I had my own lane. What?
I said I will find them all and kill them.
No, and you said we're already connected, and it starts looking in the camera. No, seriously.
I will find you. You're dead.
I didn't really want to be there. I wanted to be there for the snacks and the people.
Yeah.
And all my friends were in it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of jumped in.
I get it.
That's kind of how I've been.
Swim team's a different kind of team. I was a springboard
Chill.
diver, a swim team adjacent.
Yeah.
They still treated us like we were not in on any of the jokes,
Oh,
They
I'm
hated
sorry.
us.
Do you feel like you've healed from that? Or do you feel like it comes up ever?
So you were like a leader. Who was your influence?
Lauren Daigle for me, which now looking back, for sure I had a crush on her. That was so gay. I look back and I'm like, yeah. And then of course Adele. I really did.
Yeah.
I fucked heavily with Adele. She's so talented.
I will tell you my Adele manifestation story another time.
Have you met her?
No.
She's been on this pod. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
No, I
Come on in, Adele. A match. One day I'll have that power. I swear to God.
She's so fucking funny, and then her songs are not.
That's kind of like you.
Oh, that's really nice. Thanks.
Sorry. Words of
Starts
affirm.
crying.
Words of affirm throws people off sometimes.
Like, it's really, I love that she's able to go there and then not stay there.
I listen to Adele when I write comedy. Is that weird?
No, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
Duality, babe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and then I picture a sad person crying and trying to cheer them up. Is that duality? Okay.
Motivating. We still don't know, like, what's your favorite song, like, now?
I've been really loving Bon Iver's new stuff, and also Doechii.
Oh, yeah. Well, come on now.
I'm on Doechii Talk.
Listen, I'm not a confident lady. I think I have a shot. I really do. I can't explain it. Just like, I really... Yeah, she's my celebrity crush right now.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah,
Actually, she was at Futch like a little while ago. Well, when I was there, so.
Have you ever been to Futch?
Yes.
Me too.
I'm never really there, but yes.
Oh, I'm there. I'm on a stoop. What'd she do to you? I see her avoiding everybody. Oh, you dated the... I love it.
I
obsessed.
love it.
I'm there trying to mother, and then I got to cut out early.
Oh, you can't be there trying to mother. It is a bunch of
It's
feral cats.
I feel like it's like a fun house of ops is what it feels like. Where
Yeah.
it's like you're kind of like going in and it's like, oh, that's my ex, gotta go left. Or
Yeah.
like, ugh, we
And I'm
didn't.
just like, yeah.
Yeah, and so I am one of the feral cats.
I
That's
love
the
it.
truth.
And then
Yeah.
at midnight, empty.
That's
I
what we
know.
do. That's what
And
we
then
do
so
best.
like the gay boys will show up.
We come in and we clear out.
I love that
That's the
so
truth.
much.
Yeah.
You in, you guys get 10 minutes to grab something, and then you gotta get out of here.
So efficient.
Supermarket sweep.
Supermarket sweep.
What was your biggest music when you were little? Biggest music is weird.
I know what you mean. And the answer to it is Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Yeah. I was 8 and I was like, because I thought that Jermaine was amazing. The guy was fucking going
Yeah.
off. I was like, and you know it.
That's the gayest thing you've said so far. Yeah. My mom took me to her concert.
Alanis Morissette?
Yeah, like
you're
a
like,
few
"Mom, are
months
you
ago.
First of all, Joan Jett, can I just say, in a leather crop top, going, this song's about androgyny. Maybe you won't like it. Hit it. Like, I was like, what's happening?
I was at that concert, and my mother, who is literally the salt of the earth, I love her so much. She's a little tipsy. She's like kind of out of the church now. Like my parents are in a party phase. I'm living for it. I was a little tipsy. She looks at me. Joan Jett's hot. I go, yeah, she is.
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah, she is.
So that.
Yeah, she is.
That's like a cinematic moment.
Yeah.
I said, I've won. Yeah.
So that was your mom's gay awakening,
Yeah.
gay panic.
Totally.
What was your come out story?
Oh, okay. My come out story was kind of, I feel like there's been a couple, do you know what I mean? Like a couple moments where I was like,
You always knew, or you had to learn?
I just thought that I really thought that I just was, I supported women.
Mm-hmm.
I was like feminist.
Me too. I
Yeah.
was like, I support women.
100%. And I get that. I really support women. I mean, Meryl Streep has always been, like, specifically, I said this, but the scene in The Devil Wears Prada where she, like, goes, oh, and also, and that is all. I think that really, like, changed the trajectory of my life. I can't explain it. Something physically changed me in that.
That's a really powerful owl moment, I
It's-
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really, I said, and whatever that is, I'd like that. So thank you. And then also I remember sitting around with my church friends when TikTok first came out. And I was sitting and I really thought that I was doing like my big one by being like, and guys, I really think we should pray for TikTok. And I'm like really thinking that I'm like really convicted about this, right? I'm like, it is really pushing the gay agenda. Like it is only queer women. Like it's an app for lesbians, right? And I'm like seeing the faces of everyone around me. Like,
Algorithm got
like,
you, girl.
Super just like, that's not my experience. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like showing them mine. And then they start showing me theirs. And it's like houses being built and like,
Promposals.
yeah, prank videos. And I'm like, what do you mean? Where are the dykes? Like, that's a different, I learned about the algorithm.
Yeah, in that moment you did. Yeah.
And it was something that I immediately said, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, you had to shut that door that you
I-
opened.
And then they closed the circle and said, and let's all pray for Maddie.
So by TikTok, Maddie meant Maddie.
Yeah. And ever since then, we don't really hang very much anymore. I think that was the moment where I was like, oh, I'm on a journey and y'all are watching prank videos, and that's okay.
And this is why we need to not ban TikTok.
Pray for TikTok for sure.
Yes, that day, I think I've never felt my blood leave my body the way that it.
Yeah.
Well, that was also, you were very
That's like
public.
real gay panic.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's like very public display to who you know is the wrong crowd.
Totally.
Honest and earnest of you to be
So
like,
sweet.
and we should pray for TikTok because it's all lesbians.
Yes.
It's homos.
It's like, it is?
Yeah, literally. I think about how long I must have been scrolling and consuming for that to exclusively be my algorithm. Do you know what I mean? Like
FYP wasn't built in a day for sure.
But it really nails us down in a day. It's kind of crazy.
And that's so real.
And how long ago was that?
Like in 2020, I was in church leading worship. That was my job. I was living in Idaho.
In a pandemic.
Like shit was weird. It really is very strange to look back. And I had so much to write about when everything, like I was like making out with my best friend and being like, but that isn't gay. That's just that I'm just
Taking for a test
I'm
drive.
Jesus and she's Jesus, so it's me loving Jesus.
No, I'm like, it's a TikTok trend. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You're like, this fucking TikTok is out of control.
It's crazy. I gotta try it out. Even kissing people at that time was just like, I like sobbed the first time that I kissed someone because I was really
You're
good.
like, now I'm not going to have any breakfast.
No, right? My burritos are gone. Yeah.
It was tied to a lot.
I think that there should be something. I was really good at saving myself for marriage when men were the option.
Same.
When I started writing my EP, because I had pretty much transitioned into like, I'm just going to be a songwriter and that's what I'll do. And then I was writing these songs that were so fucking specific. Like they're literally like, last night I kissed a girl and that's new for me.
And
then
I
I'd
liked
like,
it.
and I like, and I left the church and I'd like bring it to my like publisher at the time. And Rachel goes, girl, who's going to sing this? Like, are we going to give this to, like, you want us to pitch this to Shawn Mendes, bitch? Like, this is so, stop, like, these are your songs. And I was like, fuck.
Knowing you have the voice, knowing you have the words, why wasn't your first thought, oh, it's going to be me singing them?
I think because I was hoping that wasn't true. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, I'm writing.
You were like,
I'm just writing music. Like it was really interesting because I remember when I sent my mom, you might not like her. I sent it to her. Like I can't remember if I had sent it to her on accident or if there was a little bit of tequila involved. But I had sent the song to her, and I said like, some of this is true and some of this isn't. Bitch, all of it is true. Mom was like, oh, so what about the gay part? And I was like.
Oh, bless you.
Right, just like that phase of my life was so crazy. And I didn't know what I was writing for other people and what I was writing for myself. And then I'm also just a really honest writer. And so I wouldn't know that was how I was feeling until it would be on a piece of paper. And then I would be like, well, fuck. My team and I have talked about this a lot. I'll be really honest in the studio because that's just how I write. And then I realized that I have to back it. It comes a time to like release it and it's like, oh shit, I didn't realize that by releasing You Might Not Like Her, I'm coming out publicly. Yeah. Just the cognitive dissonance for me to realize that it was so personal.
I'm going to say, because it feels so personal and you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you show it to people and you're like, and that's cool. And they're like, yeah, it's cool. And then you're suddenly like, oh, everybody's going to know how cool it is.
Yeah, I just figured out that I'm queer. And now people are using my songs with like gay montages. And I'm like,
I mean, first of all.
And I love it, but I also was like, it was so quick. And,
that's very fast.
And yeah, crazy.
When did you make the jump from like, I just want to write to like, oh, I'm going to be singing these? Is it because you're like, you know what, actually, this is my story?
I think when I realized that I had a full EP, I think I realized I started listening to those 5 songs together and like each of them were about something different. So it was like deconstructing the church, my sexuality, like I've lost over half my body weight. And like that was an experience that when I had written Fat Funny Friend, I was really struggling with the way that the world perceived and also
that song
treats. Thanks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I without a doubt, Fat Funny Friend and the community that song brought, I really genuinely don't know if I would have done the self-discovery of the rest without it, because it was such an interesting thing, because I was so anxious about releasing it, because at the time, and I now have been public about it, I actually just came out that I had gotten gastric sleeve.
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, like 4 years ago. Yeah, almost 4 years ago. And it was a really very nuanced, complicated decision that I made. And I started realizing that like people were treating me very differently the more that I would lose weight. And that is just, I was really angry about it. And I wrote Fat Funny Friend and I put it online, and it was really interesting to like just see a community of people that like just fucking embraced me and were like, this doesn't have to be a period mark. This can just be your truth right now. And then I think I was like, man, that makes me curious of if that felt so good for me to say and to find people that are going through it, like what would that feel like if I also shared the other parts of it? And then I think you might not like her happened, and if it's not God. And it was just this like snowball effect of like, oh, there are really good people out there that have gone through the same thing. And I am brave enough to do it because they're brave enough to receive it and
see themselves in it. And see themselves in it. That's
crazy.
So cool.
Yeah, it's wild.
When was your brokest?
Brokest, I think, was after I released the EP.
Okay.
I was sharing so much with the world. Like I look back and I'm like, that was so much to deconstruct so quickly.
Yeah.
And to do it so publicly.
Still fast even. Like
Yeah.
you're on the highway.
I feel like I've just settled in for the first time in my entire life.
Like releasing
past
and
year.
learning and
Yeah.
still writing and discovery all at the same time.
My mom has said this since birth. I feel like sometimes I'll have a self-discovery and then I'll be like, I'll be the spokesperson for it. Like literally, do you know what I mean? Like I was diagnosed with PCOS. They were like, girl, you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. I'm like, you know, it would be so cunty is going on American Idol and talking about it.
That's amazing.
It's probably the worship leader in me too, where it's like,
You're a leader.
if I'm going to go, I want to do
You're
it
like,
with
if I'm
people.
gonna do it, I'm gonna champion it. And
I might as well. It was a crazy, like, emotional. I'm still figuring it out. Like, what people didn't realize is that I was posting Fat Funny Friend. I was posting You Might Not Like Her. And I was actively dealing with an eating disorder. And then I'm going online and I'm having a bunch of people discuss what I look like.
Yeah.
If I was the proper person to sing Fat Funny Friend, or You Might Not Like Her. Does she even know her sexuality? Like it was like all of these conversations that people were having online discourse about, I was also having inside.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's a portal for me to be curious about what people are saying about something that I am still not sure. And so I've always tried to be really honest that like, I probably fucked that up. And like, I don't know. It's just, it was a lot. And I feel like the most broke was probably the aftermath of that.
The comments are like the in between, like posting it and not knowing that so many people were like actually attached to it and felt that way.
I think it was literally after the EP had happened and I kind of settled in and was like, oh, fuck. I was like an emotional hangover. Like, I feel like I had realized, I was like, I think things were going so fast and it was so public that like, I didn't realize that like people who leave the church and people who deconstruct their faith and figure out their sexuality, they do that in decades.
Yeah.
And I did it on TikTok in 12 months.
The algorithm.
So it's quick.
Yeah.
It was quick and it was crazy. And I think the aftermath of that, because then people around me were like, okay, now album? And I'm like,
It's like the classic, like, what are you going to do next? What are you...
right.
Yeah.
No
I'm
one
like,
can
what do
let
you
you
mean? I'm going to be publicly gay and
Because
not
you're
go to church.
only a piece of everyone's life, right? Like, you know, they can just like clock in to you. So like, I want more music from them. And then they go about their day.
Yeah.
But they don't realize like you have your whole, you know, you're trying to do all of these things.
And it was so personal.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't music. That EP was literally like somebody's, like my journey. And it's so interesting, like to see the people that grasped onto that and I have such a deep adoration and care for the people that know me because of my EP, because a lot of them were also processing that stuff in real time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's so weird because I feel like we're all on this journey of, even like when they come to my shows, like I feel like I'm like checking in with people that deconstructed with me or you know, my first concert, we were all so heartbroken because we're coming out. Like, it was really deep emotional stuff. And then the next tour, some of them like had their first girlfriends, and I had my first girlfriend, and like it felt like we were all like on this journey together, right? And so it would be just like these check-ins, and it's wild, and I'm so grateful. And also I recognize that it
You're
was
creating
intense.
such a like personal community as well.
Yeah.
Everybody felt like they were like doing it with you.
Just thank God I didn't want to do it alone.
Literally about to go on tour right now.
Yeah,
Are you so excited?
I am. I can't wait.
Is there somebody in the past that you were like, or in history, you were like, I was that person?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it helpful for you if we tell you ours real quick? Like,
yeah,
if we could-
100%.
Mine was just a semi-truck driver named Jeff, 18-wheeler. And then his was the unsinkable Molly Brown.
From the Titanic.
So we'll give you a second to process.
I think I love you both.
I'm susceptible to cults, so I think
Same.
But I don't think I was a leader, because I love when someone just has the audacity. Like, I love someone who's passionate.
Like you're a
And
church leader, but not like
I'm like a right-hand man.
you're like
But not
okay.
a church. I don't think it's a church. I don't know what it is, but maybe multi-market, multi-level marketing.
MLMs?
I
That's my
think,
bread
but
and
I
butter.
think I would be.
You were selling Mary Kay in the past life.
I do. I think I'm hey girlying.
Specific cult? This is becoming a cult podcast.
Thank God. I feel that.
Like a yoga cult.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
something that's just like a little too far of passionate.
You're like, go with the flow, baby.
can I tell you something that happened to me recently that I lose sleep over?
Yes.
Okay. So I have
I was going to ask if you feel like you are a Pisces, but
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
with a Cancer moon.
I feel a lot of things, and I want you to know about them. So I have a crush on this Olympic, not swimmer. Okay, I have a crush.
Again.
What? Thank you. My gosh. And it's like it's just like it's a small crush. It's just kind of like one of those things where I'm like, oh, like, wow, like you're good work, the Lord, on that, on her.
And we still give it up to
Yeah.
the one and only.
You did your big one. Good job. And I literally one evening, sometimes I forget that like people follow me online. And I've noticed that just kind of in the beginning of people following me, that I sometimes like I'll go to concerts and dead ass, I'll post it like I'm your like homegirl from high school that has 1,200 followers, like 80 stories of like
it is what it is. And so one night I was literally like, oh, I'm discovering this crush. I'm going to post like a couple thirst traps of said person like on my Instagram story. And then I went to sleep.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
And I woke up to the amount of DMs of people being like, hey girl, like she follows you. She loves your music. I just like want to know what that was
But
like
she
to have.
started following you
No,
after
she
that?
had followed me for
Already.
and like had like hyped up my music before. I didn't know that.
Wow.
So I just like think about her like listening to my music, and then all of a sudden like tapping through my story and just seeing just like a collage.
What do you do with that information? It wasn't great, and I still think about it. And
I think it's kind of endearing, to be honest. I would love that. If I was flipping through someone's shit and it was just me, I'd be like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, game recognized game, you know? Maddie, this isn't bad at all. One time I gave a guy...
Oh, God. Whatever this is going to be will make you feel better. Whatever it is.
She's like, one time I took the DNA from somebody, multiplied it,
And did a spell. 'cause
and
I
did
was
a
feeling-
spell. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
What I did was I cut out pictures of myself and this other man, and then I made a scrapbook of things we hadn't done yet together for like manifesting, and then I gave it to him as a gift. So, Greg, if you're out there.
Was one of the activities a restraining order?
Jenna,
Okay, and everyone's perfect.
and go listen to your new EP.
Yes, I'm really
Available
excited about
everywhere.
that. Yeah, I am really excited.
The
about
angry
EP.
part.
The angry part, yeah.
And if you haven't already, go listen to Heaven. It is already out. It came out on March 7th.
I'm really excited about Heaven, and I'm really excited about the EP. It's interesting to like get to be mad. I feel like all of my stuff has been really introspective, and now I'm like, wait,
you hurt my feelings. and
You're like,
here's
I'm
why.
pissed about something.
Yeah.
I love it, and I'm glad that we already got a sneak peek. Haha.
Exactly. I'm nice.
Oh, sorry. I've been listening to it though. It's in my email.
Maddie's like, I did not approve this.
Sorry, I was already cranking it this morning.
Yeah, we were
Carmela.
listening to that.
Also, I love you guys and I want to be real friends.
Yes,
Not
please
just
do.
podcast friends.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
This was,
Thanks for having me.
So fun.
you're fucking hilarious.
So funny.
That's so nice.
Thank you, Maddie, for coming
I
on.
love you guys.
And
You've been listening to
Two Broke Gays.
Yay!
That was so fun.
They have breakfast in heaven.
Yes, they do.